What's going on, everyone? It's the Twitter files. Doo doo doo. It's LP, writer and creator of the comic books Nyobi and Savage Syn, here to talk to you about AI. Yep, we're back to AI once again here, the controversy, and it's only going to grow. We have a post from Mike Wheeler of Divinity Comics, and he says in this post, and I quote, "I have figured out how to consistently color full pages effectively with AI. This will save us thousands of dollars, hashtag winning, like Charlie Sheen." And we see here how he's doing it. We see here the base image, and then we see the AI rendition. And this is a high res. I mean, this is at, 31 megabytes here. That's not a small file for an image. You know what I mean? We go over here, we take a look at this one, Panzer Girl page 2, and then we see the AI job right there. And I got to admit that it doesn't look bad. I mean, I don't know if this is, on the same sort of level as this, right? So when he says consistently, maybe this is for a different book, sort of like for this book here, and this is looking a little bit different because that image on top and this image here on the bottom are not the same color style wise, right? But let's say, for the sake of argument, that it is consistent and Mike Wheeler has discovered that you can indeed color comics with AI and have them come out high res and look the same throughout the project. That's a scary thought. That is a tremendously scary thought, especially if you are someone in the industry who colors comics, right? I would say like Phil Leon, Nick Webb, Nick Capone, guys like that may have their industry threatened, their livelihoods at gunpoint, because if this is true, and I believe it to be true, you are going to have people who are going to want to save, and I quote, thousands of dollars on coloring. And this is going to be a struggle that everyone is going to fight with, including me, right? I spend a fair amount of money on art and colors. Now, I don't plan to switch to AI coloring, right? I like the people that I work with, and I want to, keep them in the loop. But I can see other creators going, you know what? I can save $2,000 and have the AI color this. And not only would they be saving money, but it would be lightning fast. Lightning fast, comparatively speaking, as into waiting. But that means though we be slowly, maybe not even slowly at this point, rapidly taking away piece by piece, tearing apart this industry. And it's being torn apart not just by AI and how AI is going to make comic book creation easier for a lot of people, cheaper for a lot of people. It's coming from like just the industry imploding. Huge changes are happening at Marvel. Lots of shops are still closing, not opening. Prices of comic books continue to raise. Manga continues to kick our ass, okay? There are several things here, all at a tug of war to see which one's going to rip off the limbs of the comic book industry first. And I think AI is going to be a really strong contender for that. It's only a matter of time, and I'm sure it can probably do it now. But it's only a matter of time when it's really people are gonna go, you know what? I can just do my whole comic book this way. It's only a matter of time before you see the big two slowly embracing it, even though everyone's got a hard stance against AI, as the years roll forth, as this becomes more and more normalized. You will see ever so slightly the corporations nudge towards AI. It just is. The genie's out of the bottle. Pandora's box has been opened. And it's it's another nail in the coffin of the comic book industry as we know it. And I say as we know it because like everything else, just like music, just like movies, it will find a way to survive. I don't know if it will find a way to thrive, but it certainly will find a way to remain. But it just be in a different form, right? Gone to the convention that I was at over the weekend. I talked to one guy who says, the reason why he doesn't buy comic books is because essentially he reads what he wants to read online for free. And he made mention of webtoons and he made mention of Tapas. And I brought up global comics. There are ways to go ahead and read things for free, whether you are paying a monthly subscription for some sort of digital service or you're sailing the seven seas. It just is. You're going to have a lot more people now going to make their books with AI, whether that's going to color them with AI or just flat out have the entire book done with some sort of AI service. You have already seen art books on Kickstarter that are fully AI. We have seen people utilize AI covers. Now, this is, of course, the next step, right? Now you're going to have AI color your comic books. Yeah, it probably will save you some money. But man, oh man, oh man. I guess it's true that AI is really a huge threat to the arts, right? And I always kind of compared AI to cursive handwriting, right? So no kid really knows how to sign their name anymore. They barely know how to print. They certainly can't write. They're soon going to forget or lose interest in drawing things on paper because they're going to be able to do it with the AI. And it will look probably better than what they're able to do in some cases. Maybe not all. Really talented artists are out there. But just for the Joe Smo average kid, right? Now they can spit out pretty much whatever they can think of at a push of a few buttons. This will put a lot of people out of work. I sent Mike Wheeler, who posted this, and gloating about this, by the way, works with a former colorist of mine. And I sent the colorist an email, well, not an email, but a message. And I said, how do you feel about working with the Wheelers now? Especially when they say that, we're going to save thousands of dollars. Those thousands of dollars he's saving was going to go to the tables of the people coloring his book. The thing about comics, right, is that when done right, everyone involved is getting a little bit of something out of it, right? As the creator, I get whatever profits are left over, but during the course of the creation, right, artists are getting their page rate. Same thing with the colorist, same thing with the letterist. If you have a publisher, they're getting their little piece of the pie. Everyone, gets to make something out of this, and that's what kept the industry sort of rolling and moving. Now what we're seeing is, a lot more creator-owned initiatives, which is great. You're cutting out a lot of the middleman. You're cutting out of some of the extra costs. But with that said, because you are operating all on your own, you are going to be looking for ways to save money, right? You're going to be looking for the best talent at the most affordable rates that you can comfortably do without putting yourself into the hole. Now imagine you have a service which can color your whole book and make it look like a professional job. And dare I say it, and maybe I shouldn't, but dare I say it, maybe even better than what you were paying for. And that is the ultimate kick into the nuts, right? But it just is. You save money, you save time. Now the people, of course, who are skillful at this, they're going to lose work. John Stinsman had posted that he lost a good chunk of his monthly income from a regular client because his client now has decided that he's going to get the art that he wants done via the AI. Huge kick in the nuts, right? That one hurts. Even I can feel the sting of that one from here, and I'm in a different country. Artists are losing gigs due to AI. Colorists will lose gigs due to AI. At some point, and I'm sure you can do it now, letterists too. I mean, any aspect of the comic, you can, give away almost to AI now, except for, in my opinion, interior page art, because I haven't seen anything that can really do it yet. However, I've seen people mishmash a few things together that kind of looks like a comic, but not quite. But as far as the coloring goes, yeah, I can see that being the case. I can see that happening now. And Mike, is proving that. So I don't know what it means. If you're a colorist out there and you're like, well, what's the bottom line for me? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works, but I'm sure it's going to be made more evident as the weeks and months roll on how Mike is doing this and how other people are doing this. I kind of don't want to know. I don't want the temptation of that. I want to keep the people who are with Nyobi, some money in their pockets when we're able to do it. I was going to say employee, but no one's an employee, right? No one's getting steady work here. But when we're able to do it, it's nice to have people that we can count on, and everyone makes a little bit of something from our crowdfunding efforts. But this is a blow, man. So this is just an FYI to colorists out there. Be warned, beware. The AI is coming after our jobs. I don't mean to make light of it, but it's true. They're coming after your jobs, man. So we'll see how this pans out, and of course, I'll keep an eye on this, and we'll see, if any other posts are made, and this and that. And if you are a comic book colorist, and I know that some of you watch this channel, and even if you're not, sound off down in the comments section below. Give me something to chew on. So we'll do another bite-sized news video, and we'll chew on whatever's on the plate down in the comments section below if we get enough comments, right? In the meantime, please subscribe and like the video and all that good stuff, and buy some comics today that aren't colored with AI. Peace out.